Just a quick little video here. I'll try to keep it about 5 minutes here. Just an update on the crypto market since we had the weekly candle close. So as you can see, we closed up there. We have opened up this week right now already. This is obviously total market cap. We've swept the previous weekly low here, which I mean is only one day. We still have 6 days pretty much until this candle closes. So, we can obviously still go lower than this. On a daily time frame though, you can see we have swept this and it has been bought up a little bit here. We have fallen a little bit short of the target that we are looking at for a potential bounce, and it still could go lower, but it is a little bit interesting because there is a chance that we could move up from here. As you can see here, this fair value gap closed through these lows here. So this candle is actually a fairly important candle here, which, if we're going to go lower, probably is going to happen from this area here. If it doesn't, and we go higher, then I think there's a very good chance that this recovery is enough and we could continue up to all-time highs here. There's always the chance that, if we do get that high, that we take out this liquidity here into this fair value gap and continue lower. But I really like so far what we're seeing. It is interesting because, as you can see, we have created a little bit of an impulsive move after the sweep lower. We've got a 4-hour fair value gap, which I would like to see hold if we're going to continue higher. We have seen we saw an impulsive move out. It traded lower and then immediately went higher again, which is a pretty good indication that there is some buying at this level. Doesn't mean that we're out of the woods, of course. We could easily, like I said, reject from here and go lower. So we'll see. If we look at USDT, we can see the area we had marked up previously after the last video. We're somewhere in there. It's perfectly struck right in the middle, and we are trading lower at the moment right now. We're not out of the woods entirely. This is obviously a very good sign to see a reaction of this strength from this level. Does show that this is an area where it could potentially reverse. It could also, theoretically, it could trade back up and go higher than this point, so up here, and then start to trade lower as well. But one thing I will say, from a bigger time frame, a weekly time frame here and a daily time frame, there's no imbalance zones or fair value gaps left unmitigated. Everything has been mitigated here. So we do have this volume imbalance here, which was already, as you can see, mitigated here. So if we do reject from here and start trading lower, there's not really a level here where I'd expect a huge sell-off. So I would expect to see this continue lower. Of course, we could react off of some of this bullish price action that pushed the price up, like for example in here, which it looks like we're getting a little bit of a bullish reaction off of here. Like that could lead to higher prices, and if that's the case, this area, like I said, could be swept and then could trade lower. Or if we have a huge impulsive move creating fair value gap through this zone, it might mean we're going higher. But so far, I like the sell-off from here. The bounce we're getting shows that there are sellers that are willing to take the price lower. That's always good to see. If we look, the one thing is, if we do look at others, the altcoin chart, this is not really a very impulsive move. We did not sweep. We swept this, which is great, but then this low was not swept, and we came very, very low, very, very close to it. Now, this is a high resistance liquidity run, so this does have a better chance of holding. But still, when it comes this close and then has kind of a corrective move instead of a big impulsive move like this where sellers are clearly in control, well, then, leaves a little bit more room for downside. As you can see, we are inside this fair value gap and we easily could sell off from here. We've also had a little bit of a sweep here of the high here, and it looks like it's trading lower. We're in the last 30 minutes before this candle closes, but, theoretically, you would kind of want to see a bounce from here because there's not really any higher time frame fair value gaps or imbalances left. So I'm still thinking others could go lower here into this area that we've drawn out. Time remains to be seen. Ethereum, same sort of thing. We have swept, previous liquidity and had a bit of a bounce. Again, not insanely, impulsive, but not the weakest move out of here ever. You know, we had the high resistance liquidity run. It created this 1 hour fair value gap in here, which was respected. But of course, we're coming into this candle, which swept these lows and closed through. So this candle is important. As you can see, we are kind of making an area where it could start to sell off. Is it kind of showing a little bit that it could here, sweeping here and going lower. So we'll see. We still have targets below, which this is, you know, a target that I like this area here for at least for a good bounce, because it's closed through all of these previous highs, and that created this fair value gap through here. We would also be sweeping this liquidity if this happens, but this could still recover from here. It'll be interesting to see what happens over the next, you know, day or two with the market opening up and stock market opening up as it did today. So we'll see. I won't go over any of the altcoin charts, but we have seen bounces from our levels here, and we will monitor price and see where it goes. If you have any more questions for me, let me know in the comments. Please like the video so I know that you guys are getting some value out of this, and that I can continue making updates for you. Because, you know, we all want to capitalize on this bull market and all get out the most profit that we can, and hopefully sell at or near the top and secure as much profit as we can, because nobody wants to round trip all the gains and, you know, see all the paper profits that we made and didn't realize, and then have to wait 4 years for another bull cycle. So like the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.